A surgeon texted me recently and said, yeah, I know income is getting squeezed. I'm going to make up the difference outside of medicine. I said, what do you mean? He said, I'm going to invest with a group, buy companies, do deals. That's how I'm getting off the wheel. And I just thought, you're trying to outsource a problem you could actually fix yourself. Let's be honest about where we are as hip and knee surgeons. Reimbursement has been chipped away year after year. The amount of admin and nonsense attached to each case has gone up. The pressure for volume has increased just to keep the numbers where they were 5 to 10 years ago. So most of us are looking at the same equation. Income per case is going down. Time and hassle per case is going up. And the system's answer is always the same. Do more, see more, operate more. That's the wheel. And a lot of surgeons are finally saying, I can't stay on this forever. That's where the text I got makes sense emotionally. The logic goes like this. Medicine is getting underpriced. I can't change Medicare or my contracts, so I'll just take whatever they pay me and I'll make it up by investing somewhere else. That might mean buying into a group that acquires companies, real estate syndications, private equity funds, whatever the flavor of the month investment is. The thought is, I'll grind in medicine, then I'll build wealth outside of medicine, so eventually I can escape this. And I get it. I told him that. I understand why that's appealing, but there are two big problems with that plan. The first problem, you're just handing control of your financial future to a different set of people. Right now, your income is heavily controlled by Medicare, commercial payers, your hospital or group contracts. If you push all your escape hopes into outside investments, now you're also depending on fund managers, deal teams, markets you don't understand. You've traded one set of middlemen for another. You're doing underpriced surgery for someone else's spreadsheet and then using the leftovers to bet on a business you don't run. You haven't fixed the underlying problem. The core thing you do better than almost anyone on the planet, taking a destroyed joint and giving someone their life back, is still being underpriced at the point of contact. Second problem is this. It doesn't touch what you feel in the exam room. You know this moment. You sit down with a patient. They've failed meds, therapy, injections. They're miserable. You know a well-done hip or knee replacement would change their life. And underneath your professionalism, there's this quiet little voice whispering to you, I am about to take on all the risk, all the responsibility, all the work, and I'm going to get paid less than what I did last year. You're not going to say that to them. You're not going to complain about cuts and contracts in the room. You smile, explain the options, book the surgery. But inside, there's this slow burn resentment, not at the patient, but at the system that keeps devaluing you while expecting you to be endlessly present, precise, and available. No amount of outside investments fixes that feeling. You could be sitting on 10 buildings and 3 funds and still walk into the clinic tomorrow thinking, every time I see a patient, I'm being underpaid for the value I create. When I answered that text, here's what I told him in plain language. I get it, but I still think your best investment is the investment you make into yourself. Not in a motivational poster way, but in a very literal way. Invest in changing your model so it actually reflects your value. Invest in pathways and infrastructure where patients pay for the thing you're world-class at, not just what insurers decide it's worth. Invest in a concierge lane where your expertise, access, planning, and follow-through are priced like they matter. That's an investment where you control the asset, you understand the work, you directly feel the upside. You're not hoping a deal you barely understand bails you out of a career you're quietly starting to hate. The real question isn't, how can I make more money somewhere else? The real question is, how do I close the gap between the value I create for patients and what I'm paid for that exact value? That's why I built a concierge practice. That's why I built NAOCA. It's not anti-investing. It's pro-owning your craft as a primary engine of both your impact and your income. So if you're a joint surgeon thinking, I'll just keep grinding and make it up outside medicine, I'm going to gently push back and say, you're allowed to fix the problem where it starts, at the point where you and your patient sit down and you create enormous value in their life. And if you want help figuring out what it looks like in real life with concierge pathways inside your practice, that's literally what I'm here for. If this hit a little too close to home and you're tired of hoping outside investments will save you from a broken practice model, then reach out. I'm Tyler Goldberg. Email me at founder@orthopedic-concierge.com and tell me where you're stuck. We'll have a real peer-to-peer conversation about what investing in yourself and your practice could look like, including whether NAOCA makes sense for you.